Well, the defense in the Alex Murdaugh double murder trial is getting ready to present its side on Tuesday. And the prosecution has rested its case as a new timeline of information revealed Murdaugh's pill problem, money laundering schemes, and secret family phone records. Over the last 4 weeks, prosecutors laid out detailed evidence and data to the jury, piecing together a timeline the night Murdaugh's wife Maggie and son Paul were shot to death. In response, the defense asking to dismiss the case. For more perspective on this, we do want to welcome in Jesse Weber, attorney and host of the Law and Crime Network. Jesse, it's good to see you. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
What's one of the biggest things the defense is going to have to tackle or going forward or change minds about?
I think number one is the timeline. So there's two ways they can tackle it. One, I think they're going to say that the timeline that was built by the prosecution, which is so key to their case, doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't add up. The other thing that they can say is, okay, we can accept the prosecution's timeline, but you know what? Even if we accept it, it was impossible for Alex Murdaugh to commit that crime in that amount of time. Not only kill them, but dispose of the weapons, get to his mother's house, change his clothes. I think that's going to be effective for them, but there's two other areas that they're going to focus on as well. Number one, that Alex Murdaugh might be a lot of things. He might have stolen money, he might have lied to people, but he was a family man and he would never kill his family. And then finally, the big thing that I think the defense is going to do is what they've already have been doing, is saying that the investigators in this case totally messed up. A lot of sloppy police work. We've already seen some of that happen in the prosecution's case. So if they hone in on that, that might be a place for them to go.
Interesting. And meanwhile, prosecutors laid out some pretty significant new evidence, including a voicemail from Paul about a month before the murders. And it's to his dad, Alex, and says in part, Mom found several bags of pills in your computer bag. And then there was Maggie's computer searches for types of pills. What is your reaction to all of that?
Well, it just adds another depth to this. It adds another layer that this was not the picture-perfect family that the defense has made everyone believe. And that, again, Alex Murdaugh, the tale that's being built by the prosecution, the minute he's about to be exposed, whether for his financial crimes or his drug abuse, he acts, whether it's creating elaborate schemes, like hiring someone to shoot him on the side of the road or lying to investigators. This provides the jury with a potential motive. His family was finding out about this. There was not a perfect relationship, and he acted. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to convince the jury, but it's something that they want to leave in the minds of the jury as they closed out their case.
Well, and I do want to ask about that. Do you think the prosecution's motive is strong enough for a conviction that Murdaugh murdered his own wife and son to distract from his other alleged fraud crimes and get sympathy?
At first, when I heard it, it sounded a little weird to me. But the more that they built this up with the testimony from the CFO of his former law firm or a lawyer that was suing him over a 2019 boat crash, and all of this was culminating on the day of the murders. And you know what? After Maggie and Paul were killed, you have to say it worked. The inquiry stopped. The lawsuit potentially stopped. People rallied around him. So there's a part of me that says it kind of makes sense, but here's another way of looking at it. You might say it's totally bonkers, but again, what did the jury hear? That this is a guy who hired someone to kill him so that the life insurance proceeds would go to his surviving son. Is anything outside the realm of possibility when it comes to Alex Murdaugh? That's what the jury's going to have to wrestle with.
All right, very interesting, and we appreciate you tracking it for us. Jesse Weber, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.